Hey everybody, today we are going to deal with drums on the Tascam DP-008EX or any of the other Porta Studios. I just happen to have this one handy. If you've got a Tascam, then you are obviously aware of the fact that whether you use the small capsule condensers on the front or either the XLR ends or the 1/4-inch jacks on the back, you have to deal with the fact that at one time you can only simultaneously record 2 tracks maximum. And when you're dealing with certain things, that's fine, but when you're dealing with drums, you basically don't ask the drummer, hey, play your kick first on this take, and then on the second take, we'll do your snare, and then the next take, we'll do your hi-hat. It doesn't work that way. They want to play all at once, obviously. So you're down to 2 mics, and I've done it on a lot of occasions, and I've gotten pretty decent results. It's just my cajon there, and I've done some recordings on this channel with it. And, you know, you can be creative and get some good stuff, or you can go to the dark side and you can import tracks. And it's likely that you'll do this at some point. Someone's probably going to send you some tracks. So, you know, that's not the worst thing in the world, and we'll cover that. But let me tell you what my favorite way of doing this is. We all have one of these laying around, and if you don't, head over to Craigslist and get yourself a small format mixer. It doesn't have to be anything super expensive, just enough for you to kind of expand the board. So you take like a 4-channel, for instance, and whoa, now you got your big heavy-duty drum kit there all mic'd up with a 57 and a beta and a couple overhead condensers, right? Well, it's just an example. But anyways, and then you just run that into the small format, and you can mix from there. And then head out across past a Model 24 and into a nearby DP-008EX into the jacks in the back. So now what you're going to have to do is like set it up to record that. So arm a couple tracks and go into your input settings and go to input line on both channels, and you're pretty much ready to rock. Just check your levels and make sure that everything's bumping right, and there we go. We're right about correct there, and you're ready to go. So you record your tracks and you do all your adjusting and panning and everything over on the small format so everything's lined up. Now, if you are going to import tracks, we have to deal with that because it's a likelihood. It's probably going to happen. Someone's going to send you some files. Like here's 8 drum files, okay? Top and bottom snare, blah, blah, blah. Copy those, hook up the Tascam to your computer or put the card in, and find DP-008EX or whatever the Tascam you have is, and go to the WAV file. This is where you put those files, and just copy and paste them into that file. Then when you hook the machine back up or put the card back in, and you come out of USB mode, you'll go in and find those files. So set your song up, go into import, export, import tracks, and then it'll load up any tracks that happen to be in the WAV file and folder, and then just pull it out. Like here, we'll pull the kick out, and we'll put it on track 1, and then execute, and then so forth. So then, you know, you're probably going to go to your snare, and then overhead 1, overhead 2, toms, you know, whatever order you like to put them in, and just store them on each channel. So now you're going to have 8 channels of drums. So you have to deal with that. So now we're, you know, going to have to thin the herd, obviously. So once you've got everything lined up and, you know, you like what you've got and your kit sounds good on all these 8 channels, you're going to need to free up some space. So you're going to have to bounce those tracks down unless all you're doing is drums. And, you know, once I've got all that straightened out, I go into the bounce mode, and you hit bounce, mix down, mastering, and go into bounce. And now you'll take whatever amount of channels you want. Now, you might want just a mono, but I want stereo because I got, you know, you can do 1 if you want, but I'm going to go ahead and go over to 7 and 8 and do a stereo pair. So then I'll hold down record and press play, and all these will go into 7 and 8, including 7 and 8. So we're rolling. And now everything will mix down to there, and you'll keep those 2, which is really cool because, you know, it's a digital machine. And you'll free up 1 through 6. So you'll have, you know, more room to put on more tracks. Obviously, that's what it's all about. But so that's how I deal with drums on Tascams. And I hope you got something out of it. And maybe you probably might have known a lot of this already. But if not, hopefully I enlightened you. And that's all I got for this one. So see you next time.